Okay, we're back with card number 3, and can you see the liquid glass on this little guy's eyes? This one is actually a sketch from Crafty Owl, and I used it to cut the kits for the Stamp of the Month Club. Hi, this is Katie Weeks, your independent, close to my heart maker. So the first thing we're going to do is come in with that little frame as well as the die cut, and again, just like I did in some previous videos, I'm using that frame to help line up my stamp. So the cute little guy that I'm using today from Owl of Us is this guy right here in the center. I already used the thin cuts and cut out the owl and the limb and a couple of different papers for you. Actually, a pattern paper and also in a cardstock. Once I have him lined up, I pick him up with the lid of my Mini Misti, and I want to use the Intense Black ink. It's the best one to use with watercolor or alcohol markers, and I believe I'm going to use alcohol markers just like I did in that other sample that you saw. Oh, that is great. That was just 2 passes with this. And I do not need the frame for this card, so I can throw this piece away. And this is the one that I need to save. It's best to stamp that first so that you have plenty of time for it to dry before we bring in the markers. I'm going to take my cardstock and my pattern paper. My paper is from Home for Christmas. And I believe the cardstock here is the Jade cardstock. I'm using the dark Jade on the back. And then you have some different pieces, and it might confuse you when you look at the sample. So let me explain this. So these are from The Good Life, and this one is also from Home for Christmas. And this is another one of the Jade cardstock. I'm going to use the light side of the Jade cardstock and put it on the back of this one that's from The Good Life. And I'm going to put it right there. And then, if I can get the right one, this one seems to line up. This extra one is going to go on the inside. This one fits here. So I'm going to put the adhesive on it and put it down. And I believe this one is about 3 inches. So what I'm going to do is cut off 1 inch. So I have 2 inches on one, 1 inch on the other. And turn them out like this so that the bordered part faces the inside. Then I'm going to go ahead and put those down. Now, you want it to be up a ways. I'm going to say we're going to come down about 3/4 of an inch from the top of the card. You want to have plenty of room for that little limb. And so that's why I want to come down about 3/4 of an inch. That one has adhesive. And then you just center this between the two. This owl is going to sit on this limb. So you have a couple of different pieces here, and we're going to stamp this 2 different times. In this one, you can use your intense black ink or your archival ink, black ink. It really does not matter. That's up to you. You just want to make sure your limb isn't going wonky. In this one, I really want the branch part. I don't want the leaf part so much. And that is good. And then the next part, I guess I use the darker green. So pick any darker green that you have. Instead of Jade, this is Jade, so I want to pick a darker green. I'm using Evergreen, but any darker green will work. If you enjoy watching crafty videos like this and learning how I make cards and scrapbook pages, and you like learning the techniques, I would appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button, or if you can even share this video with your crafty friends. I'm really trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Next, you're trimming this off. You're trimming off some of the excess. You can always trim more, so just be careful on how much you trim the first time, and know that you can always trim more. Now there's a little bit of branch going up through here, but I'm just going to color that with a brown marker. And let you see how I'm putting this together. Can you see where that branch ends and there's a leaf over that? I'm wedging that right in where it belongs. And I like it so that it runs under here for that little owl to sit on. And I like it when some of the branch, the leaves are up in the square right here. That's why I put the larger one here and the smaller one on this side. He should be able to sit right there. How cute is that? So we're going to start with the earth brown shades, and I usually like to start with the lighter one unless I mess up. I just shade those in, and then that did a nice job. Can you see? We have a couple of bitty sparkles. You can actually go ahead and put those on just to get those out of the way. Just 2 tiny little bitty sparkles is just enough bling. This one is the brown gray shades. And let's start with the lightest one. You saw me mess up with this one on another owl, but this will make this owl much darker than what you saw me do the other owls before. And I like the lightest shade to go on the face. Kind of like the darker owl on this one, just because of the darker tones in it. I'm just going around the outside first, around anything that, like the eyes and the beak. And I'm using this swirly motion. Gives them kind of a furry look. I'm going to go in with that mid-tone. Just go over the extra things that are shaded. Like the eyelashes, the eyebrows, and this right here. Then I'm going to take the mid-tone, and I'm going to do up here on his forehead, and down here on his body. Then I'm going to go back to the lightest shade and do his wings. The darkest shade. And go over anything. Where there were lines. Taking gold brown blend, I'm going to start with the mid. Do his beak and feet. Then I'm going to take my dull green blend. I'm going to start with the lightest because I'm just not sure. You can always go darker. Make his eyes green. And then I'm going to come in with the mid-tone and see how that looks on his hat. Every other spot. Let's make these darker, actually. And then we're coming in with our dark red blend. Let's start with our lightest one and see how it looks. And then the mid-tone for the puffball on top of his hat. And then I'm going to go ahead and put him on my card with 3D foam tape before I do the liquid glass. We're going to make him sit right on that branch. My friend Julie always makes these puff balls sparkly with her shimmer brush. And I really liked how it looked when she did that. So, right here on that puff ball. I think it's adorable. And then the last step is to bring in the liquid glass. And we're going to cover the whole eyeballs, the whites, the black, every bit of it. I don't want to shake it because I don't want to fill it, the glue with air bubbles. I just want it to run down to where it's ready to go. And I like to start with the left one because I'm right-handed and I don't want to run my hand through one when I finish. Oh, you know what? Before we do this, let's leave it sit right there. I need to go ahead and do this guy too. This needs to sit. It's 2 inches. So right at 1 inch, you want to slice up and then from corner into the slice, from corner into the slice. And this needs to go on the inside. It's just a decorative piece. And I want to do that before my liquid glass. Okay, we are ready to go. I squeeze just a tad bit out on my all-purpose mat to make sure the glue is flowing. When it dries on that all-purpose mat, I can easily just peel it off. It just flakes off. Super easy. And there we go. Now, In order to keep this clear so that I can use it again the next time, I take a scrap piece of paper, and I even go uphill, and I squeeze out glue till it's all out of that tip. I like to tap the bottle like this and get the glue to drop back down into the bottle, and then keep squeezing until I get air coming out. And then I know that next time I go to use it, it will be clear. Then once I have air coming through, I go ahead and cap it, put this fine point needle right inside there. And that's how I keep my liquid glass flowing. There you go. Cute little owl. Can you see the sparkle on his hat? And then the eyeballs have that liquid glass, if you can catch that. It's absolutely adorable. That is card number 3. Now, if you have placed an order in the month of October and added on the Stamp of the Month kit, whether it's for $5 with your qualifying order, or if you're a VIP, you got it for free. It doesn't matter whether you add on the thin cuts or not. I will send you the pre-cut 3-card kit for this month. And if you order those on my website, katie.ctmh.com.